great things he has done.
In the history of Uganda, there are many names that have risen to the spotlight: politicians, generals, freedom fighters, and cultural icons. But every once in a while, God raises a man whose presence transcends politics, whose voice shakes both the pulpit and the corridors of power, and whose legacy makes a nation pause and reflect.
And when they're going, let them go. He loves enough to let this guy to be in peace. And also is willing to forfeit his son.
One such man is Archbishop Henry Luke Orombi, a leader many say is the best thing that has ever happened in Uganda's history.
Remaining with one son, because the younger one has packed and the younger one has gone. Very painful.
But why? What makes this humble son of Nebbi district stand taller than presidents, louder than generals, and deeper than any philosopher? Today, we unravel the story of a man who combined faith, politics, and the destiny of a nation, leaving Ugandans asking, was Archbishop Orombi truly God's greatest gift to Uganda? Luke Orombi's journey didn't begin with royal robes or presidential palaces. It began in the dusty grounds of West Nile, in a community that knew poverty, war, and neglect.
I also lied. I said beyond what I was meaning. I tried to persuade with tongues. God gave me the gift of speaking long time ago.
From a tender age, he carried something rare, a passion not just for church rituals but for the souls of men and women. Unlike many leaders who chase power for themselves, Orombi's life showed that power comes from surrendering to God's will. His rise through the Church of Uganda was not by manipulation or favor, it was by anointing. By the time he became Archbishop in 2004, Ugandans already whispered, "This man is different." In a nation where politics often overshadows morality, Archbishop Orombi dared to be a voice of truth in the wilderness of lies. While many leaders bowed to corruption and fear, Orombi stood boldly at the pulpit and spoke words that shook both State House and Parliament.
Poor girl, she opened the letter, she saw all this and then read at the bottom, and there were tears of the boyfriend all over the paper. She was trembling with excitement. Liar.
He reminded politicians that Uganda does not belong to them, it belongs to God. He was not a mere church figure. He was a spiritual statesman. And unlike most politicians who speak only to their tribes or regions, Orombi's words touched all tribes, all faiths, and all classes. Perhaps his most unforgettable mark came when he defended the sanctity of family and Christian values. In an era where Africa was being pressured to adopt ungodly agendas from the West, Archbishop Orombi stood firm like a lion. He became an African voice in global Christianity. The West saw him as a rebel, but Ugandans saw him as a father protecting his children. When he spoke against moral decay, he wasn't just quoting the Bible, he was defending Uganda's cultural and spiritual DNA.
Eternity. A believer belongs to the tribe of Jesus first, and then your ordinary biological tribe follows next. You belong to a new citizenship because God, who put you in that tribe, understood what he was doing. That is your identity, and you cannot deny your identity in favor of something else. God is wise. Walk in his wisdom.
And that courage made him not just an archbishop, but a national guardian. Unlike leaders who distance themselves from the ordinary Ugandan, Orombi walked with the people. He preached in villages, sat in huts, prayed with peasants, and stood by the youth. For many, he became the shepherd who smelled like his sheep. He was respected by the powerful, yet loved by the powerless. It is said that whenever Orombi entered a room, there was a calm authority, an aura that didn't come from money, guns, or political office, but from the Spirit of God upon him. And then came one of the most shocking moments in Uganda's church history. In 2012, at the height of his influence, Archbishop Orombi voluntarily stepped down. No scandal, no political push, no pressure. He simply said, "My time is up. Let another take over." Who does that in Uganda? Who leaves power at their peak? Presidents cling to office. Politicians fight to the grave. Generals refuse to retire. But Archbishop Orombi showed that true leadership is not about holding on, it's about letting go. That single act made him one of the most respected leaders in Africa. When Ugandans look back, they see a man who defended the truth when others compromised, united the church when others divided it, spoke to presidents without fear, loved the people without prejudice, and left power without shame. This is why many say Archbishop Luke Orombi is the best that has ever happened in Uganda's history. Not because he was perfect, but because he was faithful. But here is the question that keeps Ugandans awake at night. If Orombi was such a blessing, what would Uganda look like if our politicians led like him? Imagine a president who knows when to step down. Imagine MPs who defend morals more than money. Imagine generals who protect people instead of power. Archbishop Luke Orombi gave us a glimpse of what Uganda could become, a nation under God, a nation of truth, a nation where leadership is sacrifice, not self-service. Though he stepped down, his voice still echoes. His legacy continues to challenge both church and state. And every time Uganda faces a crisis, his memory rises like a candle in the dark. Some Ugandans whisper, maybe God gave us a preview of the leader we need through Orombi. But others ask, why didn't we listen? Why didn't we follow his example? What do you think about this?